In our previous class, we have seen about Gunitaksharani. What are Gunitaksharas? Gunitaksharas are nothing but a combination of Vyanjana and a Swara. I will quickly recap whatever we have learned so far, and then we will learn further in today's class. A quick recap of the Kakarasya Gunitaksharani, the Gunitaksharas of letter Ka, the Vyanjana Ka, K plus A, Ka, K, A, Ka, Ki, and so on. Hope you remember and you have practiced these Gunitaksharas. I will flash the next slide again, which we have already seen for the other letters K, Kai, Ko, Kau, Kam, and Kaha. This is the Lekhana Kramaha. Lekhana Kramaha means the way of writing these Gunitaksharas, onto which side the matras come. A, I, etc. matras, the symbol, will come to which side of the letter itself while we write the Gunitakshara. So this illustration, this visualization will help us understand only Ikara, that is Hrasva Ikara, is the only lipi or the Akshara representation wherein we use the left side of the letter to write it. For most of the other letters, it is either to the right or below or above. Please make note of this so that it's easy for us to remember, so that while writing it, to read it, it will be in a better position. Now, we had also seen this illustration, how to write for each of these Gunitaksharas, what are the symbols for the matra and how we write it. Now, today we will do one exercise quickly. Let us all write the Gunitaksharani for the letter Kha, which is the second Vyanjana. I request all of you to open your notebooks and start writing the Gunitaksharani for Kha, so that we will get a good practice of it, and we will proceed further after that. I will give probably close to 1 to 2 minutes, and then I will continue further. So please open your notebooks and write the Gunitaksharani for the letter Kha. Tell it and then write it. Pronounce and write. That is the best way through which we will be able to learn better. I will also flash the script in a minute, so by the time you will finish writing it. Okay, let us now see whether we have written it correctly or not. I will also pronounce it for the help of you all, so that you know the exact and the right correct pronunciation of this letter as well. Kha, Kha, Ki, Ki, Ku, Ku. If you note, it is both Mahaprana, and wherever there is Dirgha, we require more energy to pronounce it or tell it correctly without any Khr. Listen to these three alphabets correctly, these three letters, because it is difficult to get it right at the first time. Because Khakara is a Mahaprana, we already have a stress on the letter, or with more energy we are telling Kh. Along with that, we are also trying to pronounce Rikara, that is the Swara, Khr. Most of the times, that stress that we put on Kha will be also extending for the next letter, that is, or the Swara, and it becomes Khr and other things. So we need to consciously limit our energy only to the letter Khakara, since it is Mahaprana, and the remaining Swaras should be pronounced without much of stress or energy. So it will become Khr, Khr, Khr. If you note it carefully, again here for the Khr, this letter, we require, sometimes we tend to extend the stress on Likara also. Khr is what most of the people would say, but the right pronunciation here is Khr, Khr. So you will hear the sound Kha more, L very little. It's very subtle. Okay. The next letters K, Kai, Ko, Kau, Kham, Khaha. So this is how the pronunciation of these letters are. Hope it is clear and there are no doubts with respect to this. Now we will do one more exercise, that is to that are corresponding to each of these Gunitaksharas. This is a very important and interesting assignment and activity that all of us can do it. So write the Gunitaksharas of any letter of your choice. For example, I have chosen Kakara, and I will write the Gunitaksharas Ka, Kiki, Kuku, and so on. Now I start identifying some words which contain this particular Gunitakshara. Maybe it starts with that particular Gunitakshara. In some cases, for some of the letters, we may not be able to find it out. So then at least we will have to find a word which contains that particular Gunitakshara and so on. So now we will also learn these letters. We will do some Ucharanam. We will practice reading these letters. Kamalam.
Kamalam.
Kachaha.
Kachaha.
Kiranaha.
Kiranaha.
Kiraha.
Kiraha.
Kumaraha.
Kumaraha.
Kupaha.
Kupaha.
Krimihi.
Krimihi.
Very good. Kr.
Kr.
Kliptaha.
Kliptaha.
Keshaha.
Keshaha.
Kailasaha.
Kailasaha.
Kokilaha.
Kokilaha.
Kausheyam.
Kausheyam.
Kamsarihi.
Kamsarihi.
Kakaha.
Kakaha.
Very good. Uttamaritya Uttavati. Dhanyavadaha. So in this way, we can write a set of words for all these Gunitaksharas so that our understanding of these Gunitaksharas, the pronunciation aspect of these Gunitaksharas will be very good, and we will be perfect in pronouncing it. And one more advantage of doing this activity is we will also improve our vocabulary, Sanskrit vocabulary, by learning new words. And if we combine learning the meaning of these words in English or in our regional language, either in Kannada or in other languages, our vocabulary will also be enhanced further. So I request all of you to keep practicing this kind of tactics or these kind of activities in your free time and also in dedicated time. So maintain a separate notebook or write it in A4 size sheets and then keep filing it so that it is a notes that you are creating for yourself, and it is I will tell it is worthy enough like a treasure. When you look back to this after a few days or few years, you will realize how much effort you had put and what all learning you had gone through. We'll proceed further. This is the Griha Karyam, this is the homework. So please ensure that you all write the Gunitaksharas for all the letters, that is Ka to Ha, in your notebook. So those who have got the new textbook, if you have the textbook, write it in textbook. I have just also referred to the page numbers that are there in the textbook, 8 and 9. But otherwise, don't worry. Just write it in your notebook, in your classwork or your any of your notebooks. For all the letters, Ka to Ha, write these Gunitaksharas. Kaka, Kiki, like that, Chacha, Chichi, Chutu. And then similarly, Tata, Titi, Tutu, and all. Okay. Now, let us read a few more words to enhance our understanding and practice reading. So today we'll have a bit of more reading exercises so that whatever we have learned so far, the Gunitaksharas, we will be able to apply it while we are reading from the words. You can start reading the words.
Radha, Neenaha, Shuraha, Ruchiram, Suhrut, Vaidehi.
Vaidehi.
Vaidehi. Mauninaha, Koshakaraha, Gauri Guruhu, Mahoragaha.
Very good, very good. Uttamam, dhanyavadaha. So if you notice, wherever there is a Dirgha, for example, in this Vaidehi, all these three letters are Dirgha Swaras. So we will have to give equal time for all of them. and we'll have to pronounce it. Similarly, Radha is again Dirgha and Dirgha. Meenaha, Shuraha. This word, the fifth word, Suhrat, I want to elaborate a bit about this. This is Hr. Okay, again, this is a Gunitakshara. Hakara with Rikara. H, R will become Hr. Suhrat. Suhrat. While telling, it should not become Suhru. Hru, it shouldn't become. It is Hr. Suhrat. And since it ends with a Vyanjana, which is a Halanta, basically it's a half letter, Takara. Suhrat. Some people say it as Suhrat. Okay, they give a bit of extension towards the end. Though it is accepted in, at least in South India, most of the people would to do that. Suhrat, Suhrat, and so on. Suhrat, if you stop exactly at that, Suhrat is also correct. So don't think if when in some case like Ruchiram, they tend to extend a bit. Okay, but it is not complete Makara or it is not Ukara. Some people say it as Ruchiramu, Suhratu. Okay, it is not tu, it is not Ukara, it is just half the Suhrat. That's it. So we'll have to remember these concepts while we are reading out the words. We'll go to the next slide. Yes, can you please start reading?
Kashi, Papam, Veena, Gopuram, Sarit, Mohini, Veeraha, Parasharaha, Saroruham, Vihayasi.
Uttamam, dhanyavadaha. So I will talk about a few of the words in this slide to make note of. For example, the seventh one, Veeraha is there. So, and we'll take also the eighth one, Parasharaha. What is the difference between the words ending with a Visarga, Raha? Say for example, Ramaha we will take, or we will also take one more word which is Veeraha. Okay, Veeraha as in warrior. We can consider that. So I will write that. I'll write it next to it so that we will be able to understand the differences while we are pronouncing it. So yeah. This is Raha. Okay, this is a Visarga here. Okay, this is one more word. What is the difference between these two words? If you see, one is a Visarga, Veeraha. The right way to pronounce it, if you ask me, most of the North Indian people or Hindi speaking people would pronounce it in the very much the correct way, Veerah, Veerah. They won't say it as Veeraha or something like that. Veeraha, Veeraha is the right way to pronounce it. The other word, which is with the Hakara, Veeraha. So it is an aspirate sound, ha. So the sound comes from the air comes from the stomach and then the sound is produced. So Veeraha is with the Visarga, Veeraha, ha. When we make that evident, that Hakara, that is the difference between these two words. While pronouncing it and while writing, of course, you know, Hakara and the Visarga. Definitely, we shouldn't use the other in place of another one because the meaning itself is completely different. So Veeraha, the right side one, what I have written, this means warrior. Okay, Veeraha. But this word, Veeraha, whatever is there, ha in Sanskritam usually means one who kills him. Okay, so one who kills a Veera will be called a Veeraha. Similarly, if you see Vritraha is another word. So one who killed Vritrasura, that will be Vritraha. Similarly, Keshiha and so on. So I'm just giving you a few examples in this way so that you will be able to appreciate even just by making a small difference in the word. With instead of Visarga, if you put it as a Hakara, then the entire meaning of the word will change. This is more evident if you see Ramaha. Ramaha is Rama, Sri Rama. But if you say Ramaha, then it becomes one who kills Rama. So the very word itself is wrong in that way. So make sure while pronouncing, you exactly pronounce the way it is needed to pronounce. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide.
Bhumihi.
Very good.
Pashaha. Krishaha. Malini. Vainikaha. Kamsarihi. Bhishak. Kaninika. Palayate.
Very good.
Vanaukasaha.
Very good. Dhanyawadaha. So again here, I will probably take 2 words to explain a bit more with respect to the pronunciation. Vainikaha. Vai, again it is dirghakshara. Vainikaha. Vainikaha. Sometimes it becomes Vainikaha nakara, but ensure this is na, na. The place of origin is again, we will have to roll back our tongue and pronounce it Vainikaha. Similarly here, 7th word, Bhishak. Bhi, Mahaprana. The next letter is Shakara, which is the second one in the sibilants or in the Ushmanaha. So, and it is not Sha, it is Sha. Again, we will have to roll back our tongue to pronounce this letter. Bhishak, Bhishak, Bhishak. As I said again, ending letter, we can say it as Bhishak and stop it immediately, or we can also say Bhishak, which is not Ukara. Just I'm trying to tell that again and again so that we register this concept correctly in our minds. Okay, so that is good, and we'll go further to the next portion. I request all of you to keep practicing these words from these slides so that it's while writing also, as well as to listen, to pronounce. So it will be easy for you to listen to the words and write it correctly. So keep practicing these.